So I like to think there are two types of builders when it comes to Trailmakers. People who build for function and people who build for form. I am somebody who typically builds for form in this game. And if you're anything like me, you get your inspiration from pretty much anything really. Movies, TV shows, video games, etc. But the latest thing I have taken inspiration from was actually the new trailer for Trailmakers 2.0 Pioneers. An update that we will be getting pretty soon. And obviously the trailer was hyping the new campaign that's coming out. However, it was a lot more for me because we actually got some lore. Lore to do with Trailmakers themselves, the people we play as in this game. And it looks like they're a faction of people that go around in space helping people, doing missions and building things with the technology, the maker tools. And the thing I've taken away most from the trailer is the spaceships. And that's exactly what I've been up to lately. I have built a very Trailmakers style spaceship. And it is actually behind me. Here it is. It is this blue and orange one. Very traditional Trailmakers colors, I say so myself. But let's just have a quick look at the details here. You know what? I'll hop in. It is a very beautiful build. It's actually one of my favorite builds because I have put a lot of work into this. Specifically, a lot of work into the function. This is function and form, ladies and gentlemen. This is both. So, of course, it's in that very blocky Trailmakers style, you know, very simplistic shape. Also quite cartoony. If you look closely, you'll see a bunch of details, like a Trailmakers logo. We got some skin packs on here, like the metal pipe pieces showing. A bunch of greebles on the top, because details are everything for me. We've got 2 intakes on the roof and also 2 custom intakes on the side. And I've actually used some U brackets for those intakes because, of course, I wanted to have that neon glowing decal in the inside, which is the orange you can see. And so I just think this gives such a cool effect. Here's the back look. We have a door which doesn't open, by the way. I will explain why, but I've left it as just a, you know, a door that, you know, you have to imagine that can open. Here's our thrusters and quantum rudders. They fit in quite nicely. And of course, we've got some landing gear the ship is just sitting on right now with 3 big vertical stabilizers, 1 on the top and 2 on the sides used as wings. And of course, my favorite feature is that I actually have a really nice first person. Look at how clean this looks. And now I really wanted to make this as visible as possible as a custom cockpit, because with the transparent blocks, things can stack up and the opacity on the transparent blocks can stack up and look very ugly. So what I've done here is try to make it as clean as possible, just using big wedge pieces that you can look through. And at the bottom, there's a bunch more details here. We've got a little Chirpo trophy there, a Trailmakers mug. You can't see the logo, but there is a Trailmakers logo on there. A big light, which is telling me where when the landing gear is out. So that big light is informing me the landing gear is down, which is handy if you just want to use this ship and play around with it in first person, which is specifically one of the features it's made for. Bunch of buttons on the side, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You can't look behind me because, you know, my chair's in the way, but that's a great first person view. So now that I'm in build mode, we can see it a little bit more clearly and see what I've actually done here. And yes, I will show you how it functions and flies very soon. I just kind of want to get the details and the build out of the way, just in case you guys want to do something similar. But here's the inside. Now, I'm very happy about this because I've actually made the inside hollow. I tried to keep all of the function blocks in other places. Like there's a gyro inside, there's pistons, look, mini thrusters, all inside of the build. All my logic is on the outside, and just keep the inside open and hollow, just because this means I have options. If I want to upgrade this, I can put seats in here for passengers. I can put, I don't know, cargo, I guess you can put in here. Just a big open area that you can use. Now, this is a door which kind of locks away the cockpit, just because, I don't know, I think it looks cool. It doesn't open. It's a one solid build. Like, this whole thing is one solid creation. So that means it's very vanilla. It's a very vanilla, because it's inspired by a Trailmakers ship. It's a vanilla build. And what I mean by vanilla is very simple. There's no glitches. There's no piston glitches. There's no hinge glitches. Like, there's no, like, strategic build styles in this to make it even more detailed, let's say. This is just like one big chunky block which I really like. So here's another detail I want to talk about is this. So if you're wondering how I did this, these are just decals, guys. And I've just used the outside to kind of make this frame. It looks amazing. One of my favorite details on my spaceship. I got some more black lines here just to add some more detail. Decals and painting add so much to the build. Like, look at this. Trailmakers logo. Got a small Trailmakers logo here. Like, it's not overly decaled, but there are decals there, and there are details there that are worth mentioning. So that's pretty much the tour of my build. Now, this spaceship actually has a name. It is called the Pioneer. And the reason I called it the Pioneer is because the new update coming out is called Trailmakers 2.0 Pioneers. And it's just a homage to the new update. I don't know, I think it's cool. Maybe a bit cheesy, but you know, I like it. It's a good name for a spaceship. So let's get into the functionality, how it works, and why I've chosen to leave some stuff out like the back door not opening and a bunch of other things. But yeah, let's take off. So how you take off is it has a hover system. So once I'm in gravity, there are multiple modes that this thing has. It has a space mode, it has a gravity mode, and I would like to say a parking mode. So right now, we're obviously in parking mode. If I hold shift and gain altitude, I can lower altitude with control like that. G is for my landing gear, which is just simple, just pistons, pull in the legs. W, ASD, and Q and E to control, so I've got pretty much all the controls I need. And we're pretty stabilized. I've got some gyro stabilizers in there to keep it level, so I can just kind of hover around, move around the area, move forwards and backwards. Really controllable. Very easy to use. So first things first, let's actually get into space mode. That's the first thing I want to talk about. So when we're flying here, you notice that the wings actually open up. And I've done that with pistons. The idea behind that is I don't want to take too much space up when parking in the hangar. You know what I mean? So the wings fold in, stow away, I guess, and only exit when I'm moving. So how I've done that is with a speed sensor. And I think it's at 10 miles per hour. So once I'm going past 10 miles per hour, the wings will open. And I'm going a clear 174 right now without even giving any thrust. So let's give some thrust to this and see our max speed. Also, let's show the controls. So it controls like basically how a normal spaceship would. I've got roll controls, I got my pitch controls, up and down, and of course, I've got some yaw controls. Pretty much everything you need when flying a spaceship, kind of like how a plane controls. I do have a blaster on the front, just one, you know, because that's all you need, really. It's a Trailmakers ship. It's not the most defensive build, but for looks-wise, I didn't want to overdo it with the guns. So, of course, I can roll around pretty easily. But just like when I was in the hangar, there is a mode to this that I can activate in space just so I can be a little bit more accurate. And that is to toggle on the gyro stabilizer. So I press Z, it will level out the spaceship like that and keep me in the same plane of existence, I guess, with like the planets. Keep me upright, basically. So if I need to be upright, I have that option. One thing I will say pretty quick is this thing looks good, right? With the orange and blue, like not many builds can pull off this look, but everybody typically goes off and customize their character and their block color and stuff, and you know, people rarely use blue and orange. Alright, here we are. We're in Microterra. So what's happened now, as soon as I entered the atmosphere, is I am now in, like, a planet mode, basically. So now I'm hovering. My stabilizers have turned on, so I can't roll around. So I'm not clicking anything right now. I'm just drifting forwards. The ship is just drifting forwards because it has momentum. However, in the parking mode, if I lower my altitude here, I got multiple distance sensors on the bottom hidden by a decal. And once I'm like within 10 meters, a bunch of my stabilizer systems, I would say, turns on. So these stop me from drifting. So if I'm trying to accurately park somewhere, like say I'm moving forwards now that I can detect the ground with that sensor, thrusters are actually pushing me backwards and then I come to a stop. So I don't have that momentum anymore. It is designed to keep the ship still once I'm in this range of the parking mode. Another thing that this ship has with that distance sensor is when I go up and down in hover mode, I can go up and down pretty fast, right? I can just jolt up and jolt down very quickly. But when I'm within that 10 meters, I have a system of logic that actually makes it harder to go down and makes it go down very slow. I'm going down. This is how fast I can actually go down. And that's to give it a more realistic parking effect. I don't know. I just wanted to give this thing a more like calmer parking because there's no suspension in my landing. These things are pistons. And if I just land pretty abruptly, I don't know, it just takes away from that awesome spaceship feel. You just kind of bounce when you hit the ground. Honestly, guys, most of the functionality is within the whole landing aspect of this ship. All right, now for the moment I've been waiting to showcase. I've added something really cool onto the ship when I actually land. So let's get out the landing gear. The legs are lowered and we can land. And soon as we land and touch down, you see that? You see that smoke? That is awesome. Now that there's a second distance sensor that's detected when I've landed, it shuts off all of the logic so you don't have any engines idling. It's nice and silent. And that smoke effect too. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of movies where spaceships kind of land and they just like disperse smoke or dispense something from the ship. Dirty air, maybe CO2, I don't know what it is, but I've seen it in movies where spaceships just have smoke and stuff, steam and vapors coming out of the spaceship. So that smoke dispensing whilst I land with also a small tone generator in there, giving the sound effect, adds so much character to the Pioneer. I'm gonna do it again. Here we go, watch. Land. Smoke. Oh, so cool. And I can turn the lights off, of course, and exit the vehicle. There we go. I've just arrived on a planet, parked my spacecraft, and now I'm on an adventure. I probably should make a small like Trailmakers rover for this, right? That would be cool. It just sits there silently, looking majestic. It's honestly such a cool spaceship. I'm so happy with it. We do have some thrusters on the sides too to stop it drifting. I recommend doing that if you're making your own spaceship. So let's make our way back to the hangar, and now I can explain why I haven't added a door that can open on the back. And that is because if you haven't noticed, this thing is perfect, like in terms of no clanging, right? So the biggest issue I've been having with a lot of builds in space is your weld groups on your build can wobble a lot. So let me see if I can spot anything wobbling. Right now, the only thing that I can see wobbling is kind of like the top there with the two intakes. It's vibrating just a little bit. And I was having a lot of issues with a door on the back of this thing because whilst I was moving in space, I got the clangy effect, you know, when the sparks come out. I do not like that. I really don't like it. It just annoys me so much. So I wanted to do a fixed build here where there's no clanging. I also had to do the same thing for the landing gear. The legs of the landing gear actually come out a little bit outside. Oh, we've just entered enemy territory. We need to get out of here. And that's the reason the landing gear is not flush with the build, because when they're flush inside the build, it clangs all the time because the pistons are more wobbly for some reason. But yeah, it's just a personal choice. I just didn't want to have any clangy pieces on this build, and that's the reason we don't have a door. So let's fly it around in first person just a little bit. There we go. I've turned my headlights on. It just feels awesome, right? Look at this. This is a spaceship, guys. We're going past this big spaceship here. We're flying. This is giving me like No Man's Sky vibes. Got my laser. Obviously, the laser's not going to do... Oh, did I get followed? I got followed. Oh, they're shooting at me. Uh-oh. Whoa. Oh, no. No, this just got very real very quickly. Uh-oh. I'm getting sprayed. Okay, yeah, we need to get into Galena. We need to go. Damn, those guys are not nice. It's a good job I have a door inside, right? Because they've ripped the back door off. All right, let's give it a quick repair. Okay, here's the coolest thing for me, actually transitioning into the hangar here. So let's line up. My friend A Bit Dark is inside there already chilling. Let's get my landing gear back in. And this is where I can use my stabilizer here. Uh-oh, please don't shoot me. Okay, I'm under pressure now. Let's get into the hangar. Come on. Oh, we're getting hit a little bit. All right, we're in. Look at that, though, seamlessly. I've transitioned into gravity. Oh, no. Okay. No, the ship. Uh-oh. They must have broke some of my hover logic. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. We're on fire. This Abandoned ship. Oh no, okay. Oh, alright, well, dang. I literally got spawn camped. Alright, let's do this again, but in one piece. Here we go. I don't know, it's so satisfying to transition from space into gravity, but still hover. Look at this. This is a realistic landing right here. I can turn around, lower the landing gear, land, and there we go, the smoke ejects. Yeah, so here it is. This is the Pioneer, my very Trailmakers style spaceship. Let me know what you think of it. I just really wanted to showcase it to you guys because, I don't know, I'm just happy with it, you know? Sometimes builds deserve their own video. But I hope this has inspired you to build your own spaceships, guys. Maybe I'll build more, you know, and make this thing a set. Maybe actually make that rover and some land vehicles for actually exploring planets and stuff. That would be cool. But yeah, let me know if you like it. Give it a rating out of 10. And if you like the name Pioneer, that's enough from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.